Hey, aloha, everyone. It's Savvy. Hi. Woo. Wow. Well, aloha and welcome to the Caregiver Show, brought to you by Givers Guides Online Magazine. So Givers Guides is your guide to caregiving. Givers Guides is also written exclusively for caregivers from a caregiver's point of view. That's right. So we get it. We're caregivers. And you can get it. Just subscribe now. Go to giversguides.com. Oh, wait, let me get my handy dandy there it is, and voila, giversguides.com right on the screen there for you. So just go to giversguides.com, where you can also visit and look at some past issues. Now, some of the current issues, of course, you can. I think it's like a 3-month window, but the others before that you can see. And next month is our 1-year anniversary issue. This is so exciting. So yes, we've now had a year's worth of issues. So it's kind of fun to go back to last year's issue. Some of it will be featured in this coming issue that's going to be out in about a week, our October 2002 anniversary issue. So really excited about that. Great time to subscribe. Great time to get some really good information. Kind of got some retro things happening in there. So really fun. Don't miss it. And we're also in the finale of season 6 today. Wow, 6 seasons. I'm super excited. So this finale is going to be wonderful and great. Stay tuned. I'm Savvy. Aloha again. I'm Savvy, the founder of Give Me a Break, and I'm your host. And Give Me a Break is a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers. We're really here to bring back the joy of caregiving. And each week we help caregivers to relax, renew, resource, and revive. You can jump on our website at gab808.org for more information, and of course to register as a caregiver with us, but also so many wonderful things that are coming up in the next 3 months in October, November, and December, jam-packed. So you don't want to miss any of that. Great workshops, great pamper sessions. The list will go on, and I'll cover all of that at the end of the show as well. So lots to do. Get on there. Check out that website, gab808.org. Oh, forgot to do there we go. Got my fancy schmancy up on the screen now. You can see it. We do this because we know what it's like to be a caregiver. I certainly know what it's like to be a caregiver. And if you're interested in my story, you can go to the Generations magazine and pick it up at any Zippies now, which is really cool. So get your zip pack and pick up a Generations magazine, and you'll see my stories in there with the articles. So thank you again to Percy for that. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the show, and his contribution to those of you caregivers as well out there. We know you're tired because I went through it. I know what it's like. I wish that all of this was here when I was caregiving. And that's why I'm here now for caregivers, because I don't want anyone to go through that. And really, you're frustrated, you're tired, you're exhausted. We get it. So I'm giving you a break. I give you a break every week right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. And you can watch right on your phone. We are now streaming on 6 different platforms. So you can catch us in all kinds of places. And you can also hear us in podcast. And of course, every week as well, we do 2 support sessions. So we have an online support session on Tuesday evenings, and we have an in-person on Saturday mornings at our Windward Mall Safe Space. So, we're just caregivers like you. We're not a bunch of caregivers. We're not a bunch of professionals. We're just a bunch of caregivers just like you. And we're here to support one another and build a community. And that's something we really, really need. So we need that community. Get onto our sessions if you can. That's a great break you can take. And it's free, it's affordable, and it's convenient. It's online or in person. And you really need that to help you survive caregiving. They're just life-changing, really. All right. Every month, the Givers Guides online magazine features Ask Christy. And Ask Christy, she's kind of our Dear Abby for caregivers, right? She takes in your questions, and then we all decide, which questions are the most asked, and we try to answer as many as we can. And so every month we answer a caregiver question. And right now she's actually doing a 3-step or 3-part series that started with September and will continue through October and November about what do you do once you get the resource? That's great that we're now providing you with resources, but now what do you do? How do you determine your needs? How do you even know what resource you need? Maybe you have to interview and find caregivers or care homes. and what preparation should we do before somebody actually starts into our home. Did you know that? You're so exhausted and now you have to prepare? Yeah. There's a lot out there. So she's going to address each one of these questions, and she started with determining our needs. So get your subscription now, get this month's magazine, go to the Ask Christy, and get those answers. And something exciting that's coming up about that in just a second. But I wanted to point out too, that the Caring Caregiver Show was started with a mission to connect caregivers and to bring back the joy of caregiving. And this season, we were really able to kind of take it to the next level. And we were able to bring some amazing resources to you from all over the United States. And speaking of Ask Christy, well, we kicked off our season 6 with Christy, and she came on and she talked about new product updates that she had. And so I want to point out to you that you want to get that October issue, because in that October issue, she's now doing a giveaway for one of those new products. And so you really want to get in on that giveaway, get your questions into Ask Christy, and check that out in the October issue. So if you haven't subscribed, get a subscription. $24.99 for the whole year. And really we're an online magazine, right? We're lessening our carbon footprint. But I'll tell you the reason why we charge you for that subscription is because the money that comes from that subscription goes to support Give Me a Break. So you're really making a donation. You're really helping support what we do for caregivers. So do something great for yourself and help us out at the same time. And you get information you need as a caregiver. And if you know a caregiver, get them a subscription. They need this. Again, you can look at it online. You can check it out and on your phone or on your tablet or even at home on your computer. You don't have to worry about it. You can take it everywhere you go. All right. And then we had our next guest for season 6 came on in the that was episode 3, I believe. And we had, and check this out. Okay, check this out. Wait, I got to take this off. All right. That's not what I want. Yes. So check this out. This was actually an excerpt. And, this was Dr. Liz who came on. Dr. Liz is a geriatric physician specializing in dementia care and providing resources and even a telemed service, which she's amazing. She's 24/7 on call. And she had an emergency from one of her patients that she had to drive almost 2 hours to help. And she still managed to get on the show and was in her car driving. And so the sound's not great, but her message is, and you get to hear a little bit about it. So let me just pull her up here. There you go. With you guys talking about dementia and how dementia is the umbrella to all of the different types of memory or brain injuries or brain illnesses, and Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, that all comes underneath that, even trauma, head trauma. And so knowing that dementia can come in many ways, and you may be a caregiver that oh yeah, my dad's got dementia, but you also may be one that doesn't realize that you're dealing with memory issues from a brain injury. So we all in some way can be touched by that. And if you're going through that, then our guest today will be telling us about education, and also she does telehealth and providing expert insights for caregivers with dementia care education as well. And she's also the author of Living in the Moment, Overcoming Challenges and Finding Moments of Joy in Alzheimer's and Other Dementias. So I'm going to get right to that. And we'd like to welcome today Dr. Elizabeth Lansford. Hello, welcome, Dr. Liz. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to be here.
To meet you.
Well, hi there. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And, as you were talking about your mission, I think that what I'd like to do, so I've been in medicine for over 20 years. I've had a thriving house calls practice. I've been on call for 18 years, night and day for these families. I've been an assistant professor of medicine at UCSF, and consultant to the Elder Abuse Forensic Center. So I've kind of I've been a hospice medical director, so I've kind of done the gamut. But when you were, talking about what your audience, really looks at and kind of how they feel frustrated and struggling, I'd like to just jump in there and talk about kind of the really messy stuff, like what do you do when things are horrible and the doctor says, well, they're just older, they're not that bad, or they have dementia, but we're not going to give them any medication.
Give me a break.
Technical. There we go. Okay. So I got so into it. I started listening to her all over again. And I realized how amazing everything she talked about was. And she really got it, right? That whole horribleness of dealing with dementia, dealing with caring for someone you love and watching them just disappear, though physically present. And she really gets that. Some great information. And again, you can contact her. Let me pull up her contact information. Here's her contact information. You can go to drlizgeriatrics.com or, and just contact her. She will totally be there for you and give you whatever information that you need. And if you've got questions on that. And of course, you can always go back to our, and this is why I put the Caring show, caringcaregivershow.com. And you can go back and look at any episode, watch any video from any episode. You can also watch us or listen to it in podcast and look for the Dr. Liz Geriatrics episode. And that's episode 3 of season 6. So that was amazing. She's an amazing person, so kind-hearted, talk about on call for 18 years. And what a great show that was. Then our next episode 3-4, was with Carol Hayashida. And Carol Hayashida is the senior engagement. Hold on. Why aren't you going? I see my computer. There you go. Is a senior engagement manager with Unite Us. And she was great. Really, she covered some really great information that we need to know that is not necessarily at your fingertips, but what you need to understand, that there's a community of people coming together, organizations, nonprofits that are totally helping one another and supporting you behind the scenes. And I thought it was important that caregivers know this. Here, take a listen to Carol. Did I get it?
When I heard about that, what you do. I wish I knew about you when I was a caregiver. I was a caregiver for many, many years for both my parents, probably a total of 19 years. My dad had Parkinson's, my mom had Alzheimer's. So I totally feel for all those of you who are out there who are caregivers. I went through it all. And in fact, being the caregiver, not having siblings on the island as well, the only one that could really be there for the support where my mom lived with me. So knowing the challenges, I was also a young mom, had a couple of kids. So, that whole sandwich generation where you're trying to manage your own kids, trying to take care of your parents and feeling like you failed on both ends. Well, that was me. So totally understand, it's constantly exhausted, constantly tired, feeling alone and, not having the support. I mean, I was just alone trying to make it on my own. So I have such a heart for caregivers because I know the heart from which you serve your parents or whoever that you're serving and taking care of. But at the same time, it does take a toll on us personally in so many ways, emotionally, physically, the drain. If you're working or even if you're not working, just, my story was just like so many of you out there, just trying to navigate it. And as you said, Savvy, survive. And that was my story, just trying to get through each day, often feeling like if I made it to the end of the day and I did okay, I felt like, okay, I did the best I could. And
success.
Just doing the best you can to make it through each day and taking care of the people that you're responsible for. So absolutely love what you folks do. I wish when I was there that I knew about you and that I could offer that support or just find the support, because it really is finding people who are like-minded, who are in the same situation, just to get support from one another, even if it's emotional support, respite support, whatever that is, it's coming together as a community. So I just am so appreciative of the work that you do.
Wow. Yeah. So this was the part, and I wanted everyone to, I now understand why I took that clip, was because I wanted everyone to understand. I say this all the time, right? That we're all caregivers, just like you, that we get it. And so here's somebody who created a network to connect everyone just because she gets it. And you can find out more about that. Just go back and again, go to episode 4 on our show, on our Caring Caregiver Show website, and pull it up and watch it, or go to the podcast, any podcast, Apple, Spotify, and listen to the podcast of it while you're driving. And you get a lot of great information that she's giving out. So thank you again to Carol. Thank you to Christy, and of course, thank you to Dr. Liz. So far, we're now getting through this whole season 6 review with really already some amazing information and amazing hearts and people. And boy, to top it off, we kind of went right about this was mid season now. We talked to this kind soul who was supposed to have come on earlier, but she had gotten pneumonia and gotten really sick, and I wasn't even able to make it to our retreat this year. But she came on to the show, and it was so important that I brought her on because Katie Rani, who is a program development director with the Mediation Center of the Pacific, has a program called Kupuna Pono that helps. You know what happens, right? There's always one person who ends up being the caregiver, and then the rest of the family is not necessarily the greatest about communicating what their needs are. And so this Kupuna Pono program helps families to communicate in times when it's really already difficult. Have a listen. I'm going to bring her on right now. Or maybe I'm not. There we go. Oh, not sure what's happening with the audio. Okay. Let me try it again. Oh no, what happened? Okay, well, we lost the audio on that. See, I need a tech person. All right, let's see if we can. All the more reason for you to go back and listen to it on podcast, because what she has to say there is super important. I can't believe that we missed the audio on that. And I'm not sure why that didn't pull through. So hopefully, gosh, that's a shame. I'll be able to figure out what happened with that audio for you and play that at another episode. But, you know, amazing information that she had for us. And I hope that the audio on the rest of our review is now okay, but we'll find out as we go along. But Kupuna Pono program, really helps families by mediating for them, by providing a service that helps the families to plan, to communicate, and to not feel like one is against the other. It's really about helping the carry and helping to find those resolution to all of the issues and making it so that one caregiver in the family doesn't get the full load of everything. I really love that program. They're a nonprofit as well. And you can go to them by just typing in the the mediation. You can just type in Mediate Hawaii, I think, and it comes up on Google. So check it out. Go back and listen to her. She had some great information there. So I think that's super important to do by going back to our website and checking that out. I'm going to see if I can possibly get this next one up. The next person who came on our show, another amazing soul. And this was, let me pull it up here. Oh, Kathy Wyatt. Yes. And she really has a wonderful daycare program going on with Hale Ha'ole. And Hale Ha'ole is really focus on the social aspect that's missing. A lot of times when the kupuna are alone and isolated, it makes your job as a caregiver really hard. And Kathy definitely helps to make that better for them. I'm going to add her to the stream right now, and I'm probably going to have to deal with a little bit of technical issues, so bear with me, because we still have, there we go. Let's see if I can fast forward this through Katie's part. Oh, so sorry, Katie, that the audio didn't work well on that. And let's see if I can, I think there might have just been this delay that I can fast forward. So thanks for your patience with me, for those who are watching. And I can get to, there's Kathy. Let's see if I can try that. Okay, let's try that. All right, Kathy, let's see if we go. It's got to catch up a little bit. I'm having a bit of a delay. Oh,
they both had cancer, not at the same time.
Kathy's telling her story
first
here.
My dad, and taking care of my dad was a bit traumatic for me, because this is a Marine Corps colonel who was private and proud, and when he got really, really sick, it was like he was forced to lose all of his dignity. And here's his daughter taking care of him in ways that his daughter never thought she would be taking care of him. And then he passed. And then a few years later, my mother became ill with cancer. And I resigned my job here in Hawaii to fly home to be with her last couple of months. I slept with her. I never left her side unless I had to go take a shower or go get something to eat. We were in my sister's house, but I was her primary caregiver. And I was exhausted every day because I was so on top of wanting to make sure she's comfortable, making sure she has everything she wants, talking story with her. And it was exhausting. And being a nurse, I've been exhausted before, but that was a totally different exhaustion. So I totally empathize with all caregivers, no matter what the illness is that you're caring for. So that's my story.
Wow. And I can totally empathize with you. My father as well. I caregive for him, and there's certain things you don't want to think you're ever going to do with your parent, but you're helping them to toilet and helping them to change a diaper or to change a catheter, or and you never expect that, and it is hard for them to retain that dignity, and it really does teach you something that as a person, you really understand how important that empathy is, how important it is to, love the person that you're caring for in so many ways. And so thank you for sharing that story, but it really does explain truly why your heart is to support caregivers and to be there for those who are aging. And so tell us about Hale Hau'ole.
Well, Hale Hau'ole was formed after some research I did. Like I said, I was in the long-term care arena, like skilled nursing facilities and adult assisted living. And there was so much that I saw that it was sort of like the older people were left behind. They were just sort of put in these places. And a lot of the times they didn't need to be there. They could have stayed at home with their families, which is the culture we usually see in Hawaii, aging in place with your families in your own home. I talked to a gazillion people, I swear I did, to get a feel for it. And it just seemed like this is magical. This is what I need to be doing. And this is what now that I look back, I wish I'd been doing it for the past 30 years.
And that was Kathy Wyatt, amazing heart and soul. And so that was her story. Again, all caregivers. And are you seeing kind of a trend here to caregivers? I want you to know that they're all telling their story, and they all have successes in their life as well. And they're refinding themselves again. There is life after caregiving, even during caregiving, and you can still make an impact, and you can still be part of something, and you can find your purpose and mission in life, which is an amazing thing. Again, I'll talk more about that later too. So next we had Percy Ihara with Generations Magazine, and it was so kind of him because, a magazine to magazine, right? Givers Guides, Generations. We're all here to support the community, to support Kupuna, to support caregivers. And he was so kind to come on, and such a great story that he has as well. And let me just add him on here real quick. There we go.
And then our events coming up, October 1st of this year, we'll have a big event, Alamana
The
Hotel.
Aging
That's
in
an
Place
annual Aging in
workshop.
Place.
Yeah, I want you to talk about that too, the Aging in Place workshop. Let's elaborate on that a little bit more too, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, I've been involved in aging for a long time, and I was very involved with different communities around town, especially with the media. KHON did the first expose on aging called the Elderhood Project, and that was that's got to be around 2000.
You keep showing your age, Percy. You keep showing your age.
Yeah, well, I'm a happy 62 years old. I started at 42.
Yeah.
But they started Elderhood Project. Gosh, it got to be around 2006, 2008. And I was their first sponsor. I really believed in that. Joe McNamara, who was a general manager of KHON, he moved here from New York and did something like this in New York. And he created it here because one of the salespeople was caring for the mother. And she really pushed this forward. And so after about probably about a month or two, because I've been involved in agents for a while, that I'm not quite getting what you guys are trying to do here. And they said, well, we really don't. Kirk Matthews at the time, a good friend of mine, who has passed away as well, and I started molding the program over the next 6 months, and it's still running on KHON. It's called a different name now. There's also on KITV, there's Aging Well with Diana Coe, who I conversed with as well.
Right.
But Kirk Matthews and I, we saw this community here that what we realized in the early 2000s that families didn't know where to go for help.
Yeah.
So, I said, Kirk, let's just do a workshop. He goes, okay, what do you want me to do? I just want you guys to station to support me. And they did, KHON, and the rest is history. Because of COVID and everything, this coming October 1st will be our 14th year. We were all set to go in 2020, but of course, COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's our 14th year. We expect a big crowd. This is a workshop where there's 6 different rooms going on at one time of different speakers. So every hour we switch out a new speaker, an expert in the field, by the way, to talk about different aging issues from legal, financial, healthcare, Medicare, Medicaid, caregiving, Alzheimer's, dementia is a huge, huge topic.
So needed.
So we'll have, unfortunately, you're out of town that weekend.
I am. I can't believe I'm going to miss it. I'm actually going to be gone. And it's at the Alamana Hotel, right?
Yeah. So we take the whole floor of the Alamana Hotel. We have 6 rooms plus the 2 big rooms, the hibiscus room, where we'll have probably close to 40 to 50 exhibitors in the field of aging, including many state and city agencies, nonprofits there to serve our community. And our vendors and our exhibitors will be there. Our presenters will be there. There's a place where they can actually come and talk to people about what's going on in their lives and experts in the field.
Amazing. And so mark your calendars, you guys. October 1st, it's coming up real quick. And it's at the Alamana Hotel. You don't want to miss it, because what a great opportunity to get a firsthand talk to the people who are the resources. And it's a great opportunity here. So I totally support what Generations Magazine does and what Percy's doing to help caregivers. And what an amazing opportunity to one-on-one conversation with the resource that you probably need or something you need to hear. So check it out. Percy himself gives his caregiving story, and also what he continues to do for caregivers in his job, his actual job. So go back and watch that episode as well. The Caring Caregiver Show. There it is on there. Caring Caregiver Show, caringcaregivershow.com, and check out watch his episode. And also you can listen to that on podcast. Totally worth it. Amazing people so far, right? What a great season we had. And having some really prominent people who are out there making a difference every day for caregivers and for your caree. And taking care of your health in so many ways, for caregivers especially. So that was our next guest and our final guest on season 6 that we got to meet. And this for me was just like amazing to be able to talk to Dr. Tony Trukowski, who is better known as Dr. T with Neo Health. And, I was connected to Neo Health by going to a wonderful, it was like a woman's, I can't remember, but it was a woman's thing for Pacific Edge magazine, I think it was. And what a great soiree that was. We went to, what's the place? I can't even think. There's the dementia moment I'm having. Anyway, beautiful venue, wonderful food. And I met Kristen Heinhold, who I met that day, and we just bonded like sisters. And they immediately kicked in. She's with Neo Health, and they immediately kicked in, supported our charity walk that we had, our Shine a Light for Caregivers charity walk, and was there doing the walk, was incredible energy for us, contributed some wonderful giveaways, and just really became part of the family. And when I told her I wanted her to come on the show and talk about Neo Health, she said, "You got to meet Dr. T." And I went, "Dr. T?" And she goes, "Yeah, you got to meet Dr. T." And I'm so glad I did. So let me just reintroduce him to you and just get an excerpt of his story. Here you go. Love having that online access.
Yeah, like if we knew each other and I was doing the services, we could arrange for someone to come out to the house, do a blood draw or do the TB test, or even do a chest x-ray at their home without them actually having to leave their house. Currently, I'm assisting the plazas in helping them with their healthcare gaps. They all have primary care doctors, but a lot of times they're hard to get a hold of. And so my staff is available 24/7 to do online care with the plaza residents. And that's one way that I'm also reaching out to the elderly community to help them get the care that they need. But yeah, there's always if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, I love that.
Find where the gaps are and try to fill them and make it, easier for people to get care and focus on the cost, which is my main goal.
Yeah, that's the other thing I really wanted to hit on was that cost factor and totally understanding. I mean, we just came off of a pandemic where some people haven't worked for 3 years, they've lost their jobs. They go back to their jobs that aren't there, or they're getting a new job and they don't have medical yet, and with COVID, you need something, or you're worried about your health, or every time you have a cough, you think, "Oh, I'm going to die. I got to get tested, or I got to go see a doctor," or, but there's also people who are on medications and you need those medications. And I love that you keep things affordable for people and that you take somebody, even if they don't have insurance. That's amazing. Yes. That's amazing.
Yes. Like I always say, I want to, break down all the barriers to getting access to care, getting healthcare in this way, that once, as we build the brand and get people to know better what's going on and how we do it, more people will understand and come in and get services that they need.
That's great. That's great. And this is kind of an off the wall question, but how did you come up with Niu?
Niu means coconut in Polynesian. And then to the Pacific Islanders, Polynesians, it was kind of like their main tool or resource that they had to travel and spread all throughout the islands. So they'd bring the coconut, drink the water, coconut milk, eat the coconut, plant the coconuts when they got to a new space.
Yeah.
Coconut trees would turn into the tree. They'd use the leaves and other aspects of the tree to make housing, clothing. So it's kind of like I say kind of like what the buffalo was for the American Indians. They used every resource they had, but they really focused on the coconut.
And I got it all out there in the community and took it everywhere it needed to go.
Yeah, everywhere it needed to go. And that's what I want to be. Kind of like
I love it.
Care to go throughout the community and go throughout the world.
What an amazing person. And I had no idea. I thought to myself, well, New Health, that sounds really good. That's like a New Health thing. But, getting to know the person behind it and their heart condition. And again, he has a caregiving story. Go and listen to it. Go and watch it. Get on the Caregiver show and a website and watch the episode. Go on podcasts, listen to it. It's amazing how much you can relate to all these people that are in a community for caregivers. I felt so alone when I was going through caregivers. I felt like there was nothing out there. And I will continue to do my best to bring as much information to all of you caregivers out there for as long as I can. And I'm going to do part of that tonight. That was season 6, by the way. Wasn't it amazing? Yay! I know, it was great. But tonight I'm going to continue that at the Windward Mall at our safe space for Give Me a Break at 5 o'clock tonight. I'm doing a presentation, a falls prevention presentation. And it is currently Falls Prevention Week. All week this week, it's National Falls Prevention Week, and there is an agenda to help prevent falls. So I'm going to be doing a presentation this evening at 5 o'clock at our Windward Mall safe space for Give Me a Break. Now, that's if you're in the mall and you're headed to Ross. We're right on the left, just before you go into Ross. Go into that space on the left. And that's where we are. I'll be doing the presentation this evening, 5 o'clock p.m., falls prevention for caregivers. That's right. Not just for your caree and keeping them from falling. We want to keep caregivers from falling because you guys are tired. You're exhausted. You haven't slept. Guess what happens if something happens to you? Everybody's like screwed. Okay. So come and check it out tonight. I'm going to be doing that presentation. Really excited to see you there. Thank you for those of you who've already pre-registered. So I know that we have some people there already that are coming tonight. So join in. If you can pre-register, go on to our website at gab808.org and register, just so I know you're coming and I know how many people to plan for. And if not, just show up. If you're there, just come, just show up. It's about an hour long, 45 minutes. So if you get there at 5:30, just jump in anyway. And we can at least review some of the information with you, okay? Whew. So that's what we're doing, okay? We're doing that presentation. That's tonight. Wait, more information coming your way. If you haven't registered for our Tell Your Story workshop series, that starts next month. So our first session is on the 8th. It's the first Saturday. We're doing our first session of the Tell Your Story workshops. And that is not about writing a story or just, droning on about what you do as a caregiver. This is about owning it, about how to find yourself again in your story as a caregiver, how to live your life to its fullest. It's about embracing being a caregiver and then not losing yourself. Super important. We don't need to get information about, how to be a success and we're trying to just survive. So how do you survive but still keep your identity? It's a wonderful workshop series. You don't want to miss it. Register for that as well. Go onto our website. And if not, then just show up. Just come, show up. The times are right there on our website. You can't miss it. So do that. And definitely the last, we have 3-part series, and the final day, the final part series, which is on the 15th, we have a pamper session going on. So that's for you, and you deserve that. And know that on the 15th, a lot of stuff's going to happen. So stay tuned. We got a lot going on the 15th of October. It's a kickoff of our Caregiver of the Year contest. It's our pumpkin patch party. It's all kinds of things. So stay tuned, check it out, go to the website. And don't forget our sessions, because those are weekly. That's the weekly break we give you every single week, twice a week. And we're finishing up our 10-part series on pause. And we're actually taking a pause. And we will not be having a session at all, online or in person, starting immediately, until we come back on the 4th of October. Why? Because Savvy is going on vacation for the first time in a long time. And I'm looking forward to quiet. And it's not even a vacation where I'm going to be doing, all these wonderful things and exciting things. It's not. I'm going to sit in a chair with a blanket and be quiet. And I'm really looking forward to detaching. So I am doing some self-care. And if I can do that, so can you. So I will be away, and I will be back And on the 4th, we have our session online on Tuesday evening. We resume. So we are pausing sessions. Please spread the word to anyone you know that's on our sessions and let them know that. And we'll be back on the 4th of October. So see you soon and look forward to it. I also want to send out a really big shout, a big mahalo to Beatrice Gill. She's our Mrs. America's United States from 2022 this year. And she raised almost $400, nearly $400 for us today by doing, as she makes these beautiful crown cases. And she did an online giveaway and raised money for us. And we're so appreciative for that. Thank you so much, Beatrice. And I want to thank all of those who participated and those who won, and just thank you. Your kindness and heart for caregivers is so appreciated. I want you to know that, and how much at Give Me a Break, we appreciate that. And anyone who does anything to help us do what we do. So thanks again also to all of our guests from the past season, and to our community of caregivers who are always there watching and listening, especially those who are listening on podcasts. We hit another milestone of 750 downloads of our podcasts. And so really excited about that. We're looking forward to 1,000 downloads. So keep it up. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks on October 5th, Wednesday, the first Wednesday in October, we start season 7. And it's going to be an exciting season. It's already packed. I'm really excited to start it. I can't wait. And so we'll look forward to finding more joy in caregiving every week. And we'll see you not next week, but we'll see you the following week on the 5th of October, season 7 kickoff. And every Wednesday after that at noon. So thanks for tuning in and tuning into the Caring Caregiver Show, where sharing is caring, because we know that's what we do, and it's who we are and how we live. And remember, you can always check out our podcast again on Spotify, Apple, or any platform. And you can even go to our YouTube channel as well and watch the videos. If not, just go to Caring. Just go to the Caring Caregiver Show. Where is it? There it is. One more time today. Come on, you can do this, Savvy. And you can do that. Go to our caringcaregivershow.com website, where you can watch any episode and even click on for the podcast. Oh, one last thing really quick, just so you know, I am doing that falls presentation tonight. If you can't make it, screenshot this or listen carefully and write this down. Go to the ncoa.org and type in Falls Free Checkup. So you can do your own free checkup for fall prevention, because it is Fall Prevention Week, and I want us all to be very careful. We don't want to become a statistic. We want to live on. We want to caregive on. And so I'm hoping you some rest and breathe, relax, and of course, always care. So from me, Savvy, see you in a couple of weeks for season 7. Thanks for listening today. Aloha, everyone. Have a great couple of weeks. I know I will. Aloha. Bye.